Hey guys, welcome back to another One Piece video. So, I just got back from Treasury Cup, I came second in Swiss, and I finished top 8 in the tournament. Top 8 was my goal, and I'm very happy with my results. I played Dofi, and I want to show you guys a bit of a deck breakdown and the reasoning for my deck. And also, in this video, I want to teach you guys some tips and tricks about the cards and how they can be used. Also, before we get into the video, I want to let you guys know about a charity event we have coming up on the 18th of February in 2 weeks. Check it out, there's great prizes, over $2,000 worth of cards plus additional support. Join the Discord. Let's start off with the cards I'm looking for in the mulligan. So obviously Perona, number 1, always want this card, but realize when you have Perona in hand, you don't need if you're going second, you don't need to play this on turn 1. You can actually wait, draw 1 card, and then when you have 4 Don, play this, and then use your leader effect. What this does is means you can stack your deck 1 card deeper. So that's a common little mistake I see with Perona going second. So yeah, Dofi is the second card. Great card, stacks the deck. It's a Perona that's also a blocker, 4k power. Also, don't be afraid to attack with Dofi. This is great for attacking other minions, attacking life, putting 1 Don on him, putting pressure. So that's Dofi, great card. The third card that I also want to mention is Desert Sparta. So going first, I never want to keep this in my hand. But going second, this card is great in your opening hand because you're going second, you generally leave 1, sometimes even 2 Don open. You pass, they attack you, Desert Sparta, you get like a mini Perona effect, and you also protect your life. So Desert Sparta also good if you're going second. Now, another thing I want to keep that I think is very underrated in how it's played, I think it's a great card. This card, when you're going second, is amazing. Elvita. So I don't see enough people ever play this card. Again, most of the time you want it to be a 2k counter, but versus green, I play this as a 2k counter. I play this when I go second. I just summon it. The reason why is green's strongest turn 3 play is Kiku. If they play that card, you're in it's rough. That card is a very strong control tool, and that's going to be able to rest your boas and other minions, also a 5k minion. So by playing this, they have 2 options generally. If they have Kiku, they could play it, then you can bounce it. I know it does suck that you have to discard a card, but just summoning this, generally I don't even want to use this effect. It's the fact that when you play this card, your opponent may play slightly different. They may not summon their Kiku, or they may not summon their Nico Robins. And so that's why I like playing this. Also, yeah, versus red, it can stop the Nico Robin from coming out on 3. So that's why going second, I play Elvita a decent amount. Also versus red, it's a 3k body. And versus green, again, another body to try to clear up Momos or Bonnies if they use it. Now, the argument of why you don't want to play it, well, hey, you play it on turn 2, and then they can Nekomushi it and clear it. Again, on 4 mana, they're playing Nekomushi, and now they're not playing Kiku, so you've disrupted their best curve. And I think that can be very relevant. Obviously, things change just based on hand, but yeah, Elvita. Try summoning it more. It's a good card. Also, it can also be great versus kit as well. You want to set it up before they drop their kit, and how that can work is basically being able to remove a blocker. If they only summon 1 blocker and you have like, a Mihawk on board, you can just put 1 Don, attack, bounce the blocker, and then, attach a bunch of Don to your Mihawk and clear kid. All right. Pacifista, this card is great. One of the best cards to hit. Early on. The reason why I like hitting this early on is because then they are a bit afraid to attack it and clear it, which is great because if they attack and clear it, then you get your Pacifista. The best matchup I actually think Kuma is, and it requires a little bit of skill in how you play Kuma, is purple. This card you don't just want to let die, especially, and you don't just want to summon it early. You want this card, like, for example, if I had the choice between Boa, like if I'm going, whatever, first or second, don't think it makes a difference. I want Kuma to be my first summon, because if they have King, if they kill it, then they're like, ugh, I have a Pacifista. Where if you summon a Boa, they're going to be so much more happier to just summon the King and remove it. The next thing about Kuma is versing purple also in the late game. When they're getting to that 10 Don, that's where you want to be having your Kuma on board. The reason why, and the other thing important, is to protect your Kuma. Don't, like, if they do a 5k attack at Kuma, protect it. Don't just do a 1k counter. Even if you have a Pacifista in hand. The reason why is if you let it die, which is probably what they want to do, then they can play their king and kill your pacifista, or in the late thing, it dies, and then they can summon their 10-drop Kaido. You want this to also give you develop a board, have that pacifista come out after the 10-drop Kaido, because that card is very strong. But yeah, cool. And then we have the pacifista. Did decide to go with 3. At my locals, I actually started playing 2 because I noticed people just didn't kill Kuma. So I actually cut a pacifista to punish that, and then they realized I started playing 2, so they started killing Kuma more, and I've got back to 3. So kind of interesting how that dynamic can work. Yeah. Also now, so next, 2 teachers. Card is great. It's really good, just, off your leader effect and, helping with tempo, especially versus green with their Kiku and Nico Robbins. It just slows them down, gives us some time to get to our Mihawks. The other great thing about Teach, 1k counter, and that it's 4,000 power. So 4,000 power, just, that one Don making it to, put pressure at their life to help remove minions. One other thing I don't see enough people sometimes doing is, remember, Teach can return your Perona to hand, which is very good. So basically, you summon Teach, think of it, you get a free 4k body, then it adds Perona to your hand. That's a free 1k counter, or, a free stack in your deck again. So, yeah, remember, you can teach your own Perona. Cool, next card. Jinbei. I played 2 of these. I know a lot of people play 3 teach, 4 teach, no Jinbei. So there's pros and cons in my opinion to both. The biggest negative to Jinbei is, there's a few. It can't be summoned by your leader. That sucks. It has less power than Teach. That sucks. And it's not a counter. That sucks. But on the good side, it's the trigger that is very impactful if you hit that. That's not why I play this card though. The reason why I play this card is on play, it puts the minion back to the bottom of the deck. And I found versus Law, that was so much more important than Teach. Because Teach, there just never was good targets versus Law. It's just there's 1-drops and the other cards, they have good effects. So you really don't, versing Law, you really don't want to be teaching their guys most of the time. And then the other reason is versing green. You play this, you return Kiku, and then they play it again, and you're still like, it's strong. So I really like the Jinbei just to get rid of the card, and it's done. And the other reason why I play 2 and 2, this deck, you stack your deck, you see so much, you get to stack and arrange your deck in how you want with Perona and Doflamingo. And so what you're doing is you're giving yourself options to choose when you kind of, what you can do. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. So that's why I play 2-2. Next card is the Queen, Boa. One of the best cards. This card, I've done this so many times and I've seen it. I've summoned this first turn, 5k. They've attacked it for 7,000. Happily gotten rid of 2 cards in my hand. Get rid of 2 cards. You keep your body. Hand being low doesn't really matter in blue. Attach a Don, draw a card back. Now you only realistically discarded 1. Have to be careful about your stacking and making sure you don't stuff up and the ordering and that. But yeah, Boa's great. One other thing to keep in mind is if you can't protect her when you're stacking your deck, right? Say you've got a Boa and a Pacifista. You went first and played Perona. And in your stack, you have a 2k counter in there, and maybe you have a Law. It'd be much better to summon your worser target first, maybe even like a Hafter Mihawk. Then on 3, you summon Boa, and then on 5, what you do, you draw the 2k counter, you summon Boa, you summon a Law blocker, and now Boa's going to stick. You don't always want to summon Boa straight away. You really want that, being able to protect her with the counters or the blockers, because your opponent is definitely going to try to kill her. Yeah, so that's Boa. Cool. And yeah, I think I mentioned Law. Not sure if I did. Anyway, Law, great 1k blocker. One of the biggest, best things about Law, and what I try to do a lot of the time, I notice, I try to have it for when I have 10 Don. So I can summon my Mihawk and then follow my Mihawk up with a Law. Really strong turn 10 play. So yeah, great card. Next card is Mihawk. This card, 2k counter, 7 Warlord. Sometimes I summon it. Very rarely I use his effect. But yeah, great 2k counter. Great card. Now, the next card is one of maybe the best cards in the deck, Gecko Moria. This card is insane. being able to add either most of the time the cards you want to be adding is like versus red 2k counter Mihawk, or a 1-drop Law, or Doflamingo, the 3-drop. One thing with Gecko Moria as well, remember this can add Perona. Perona isn't a warlord, but it is a Thriller Bark pirate. So yeah, remember Gecko Moria can add Perona to your hand. But there's been a couple of situations. Sometimes I add Boa, especially in the mirror when it's going to be a longer game. We're trying to control. It's about value. Adding Boa is great as well. Especially in that 10 Don situation, you can go Gecko Moria, Boa, put one Don on Boa, or you can keep 2 mana up for like a Love Beam, or like many times I've gone Gecko, Boa, 1 Don on Boa, and then 1 mana for Law or something. But yeah, that's probably a little bit underrated. Also, the only times I've really added Kuma in hand is when I have a Pacifista in hand. I've done that before and worked out well. But yeah, most of the time, the other 3 targets would be the normal ones: Mihawk, Law, and Doflamingo. Next card, now we get to our late game. So I know a lot of people play Virgo. I'm a big fan of Crocodile. It costs 2 more and it's the same power. It's like, why not play Virgo? The biggest reason is I think people underestimate how strong Banish is. What Banish does, especially versus green, you have Virgo, right? You put 2 Don on it, or even attack for 7, they just take it happily. Now, if you attack with Crocodile, they're gonna, if you just do a normal 7k attack, they will get rid of 2 cards to protect that life. And then I've done a 9k attack and they've gotten rid of 3 cards, and I don't think that was correct. But again, that Banish really, people don't want to get a life banished. That's how it works. Also in this deck, you'll see I play 4 Love Beams, and how Love Beam most of the time, I don't ever really play it early on. I play Love Beam late. And Crocodile's effect makes it very cheap, and I've had many turns where I've had a Don on Crocodile, because generally I want to attack Crocodile for like 9,000, and then I've played 2 Love Beams in a turn, and it feels great. I find this card that for that reason it's better. Also versus purple, I think this card's way better versus purple, because purple, again, that Banish effect is happening so much, and they can't 9-drop Kaido and kill it, unlike Virgo. And also now I wanted to mention, I don't play any Doflamingos as 7-drop that returns them to hand. And the main reason is honestly, it doesn't have a counter, and I find Mihawk just better. And on to Mihawk, I play 4 Mihawks. I think this card is insane. I think you need 4 in the meta currently, because of green. Green, you just need to start slamming these big boys and use them to push through that wall of them. Mihawk, I think it's great in almost every matchup, and I couldn't understand. Sure, if you wanted to play the 7-drop Doffy, play 1 as well, but cutting a Mihawk for a 7-drop Doffy, the reasons why I don't like it. So especially now with the new red, it's a bit more of a slower match, and so I get, I can Mihawk their Luffy, but versus Law, removing the 5-drop Law or Luffy is so much more important than returning to the hand. Yeah, returning the Law sometimes to the hand even helps them. Also, in the mirror match, when you verse a blue deck, Mihawk is just so much better. So good. Versus purple. Purple probably is more where you maybe would rather 3 Mihawks than 1, but yeah, overall I think Mihawk is much superior. So yeah, that's why I have him there. The last card, Love Beam. Again, 2 mana, 4k counter, gets you drawing. Have it in the late game. I think this card's great. Clutch me out, and the way you stack it in your deck. Sometimes I've gone Love Beam into a 2k counter and done a crazy protection to save me versus an aggressive deck. So I like the Love Beam. Also, this deck. That's another thing about this deck as well with Dofi. I noticed a lot of people making, in my opinion, a mistake when they played this deck. They cared too much about their hand size, and they were too afraid to basically use your hand to protect your minions. And the reason why this is so much stronger is because you don't necessarily need a hand size as much, because again, your leader effect, you're attacking for 7k and you're summoning minions from the top of your deck. So that's where you're summoning your minions from a good portion of the time. So yeah, this is my total deck. I'm really happy with it overall, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will probably do another video soon to do a bit more in-depth, guys, and maybe some tips and tricks. But yeah, again, very happy with my results at Treasure Cup. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, shout out to Dofi. Let's go.